Hey everyone, in this video I'll show you sample questions about IXL UFG. It is called solving linear equations by dealing with simple real-world problems. It is number and quantity 2 standard of Algebra 1. So also I want to remind you that you have another assignment that is due tonight on Study Island called Diagnostic Assignment. So if you click My Class on Study Island, you will have one active assignment. Make sure to complete that one and turn it in. It is for me to see what your current level is as per Study Island's standards. Now, here's today's assignment on IXL. It is called J10, but these can change every year. It's not going to change this year, but next year it could be another code, but this one is going to stay the same. UFG, if you just type it in here and then search it, the first one that'll show up is going to be this assignment. Okay, so let's read the question. Carly has already jarred 19 liters of jam and will jar an additional 1 liter every day. So we already have 19 liters, and then for every day we'll have another liter. How much jam did Carly jar if she spent 6 days making jam? So before I do this question with my method, I want to show you what IXL did. Okay, there's another question. I keep forgetting this. I have been doing IXL for 3 years, and then I still forget this. Okay, they give us another example. Let's just work on this, and then I'll get back to the other one and then show you how to do that example. So that way we do 2 examples instead of 1. So while working at the drugstore, Lillian earns $18 per hour. So Lillian is already making $18, right, per hour. So when you see this example, per week, per day, per hour, per student, per classroom, per teacher, that tells you to multiply by a variable. Okay, that's your cue. When you see this word per, if you're dealing with a word problem, 90% of the time you're gonna multiply it by a variable such as 18 times, since we are dealing with the number of hours, I want to put an H just to let me know that this is the number of hours. Okay, after spending 2 hours of working at the drugstore, how much money will Lillian earn? So we know that the number of hours is given now. At the beginning it wasn't given, it just said that $18 per hour. But now that we know the number of hours is 2, what I can do is I can just plug it in over here. Instead of 18 times H, I have 18 times 2 hours, $18, because this was the amount of dollar. $18 times 2 hours is going to be equal to $36 in total. So after spending 2 hours in the drugstore, Lillian is gonna make $36. That's one of the types of the questions. It is not the same as we have in here, but it tells us that we are dealing with variables, and then if we have the number of that variable, we just plug it in and then figure out the equation. That's why this example is useful. Okay, now back to practice. Let me just get rid of this pen and then get back to the practice. Now, Carly has already jarred 19 liters of jam. Now, I already have that. 19 liters is already what Carly has. And Carly will jar an additional 1 liter of jam every day. Instead of like 1 liter per every day, they say 1 liter of jam every day. That's the second cue. This tells me that I will deal with another variable. D standing for D, it's just 1 liter for every day. So on top of this 19 that Carly has, there will be another liter of jam for every single day. How much jam did Carly jar if she spent 6 days? Now there's another number. What am I going to use this number for? It is for the number of days. I will plug it in over here. Instead of 1 times D, now I have 1 times 6. But then I had an additional amount, which was 19. So many of you have probably heard of this, PEMDAS. So if we have any parentheses, we deal with that first, but we don't have any parentheses in this. If we have any exponents, like the powers, like 5 squared, 7 cubed, we deal with that one. If not, we move on to the multiplication that we have. Do we have a multiplication in here? I see 1 times 6, so this is a plus. So 1 times 6 is 6. And then we deal with divisions, but there's no division. I will bring down the rest, by the way. This is 19, it's not 1 times. Addition, do we have any addition? Yes, we do have an addition. 19 plus 6 is 25. There's no other operation. That's my final answer, and I would put 25 liters in here. Okay, here's our next level of example. Audrey prepares 9 kilograms of dough every hour she works at the bakery. So 90 kilograms for every hour, right? 90 for every hour she works. So I don't know how many hours she works, so I will just multiply the 9 by hour. If she works 1 hour, it's going to be 9 kilograms. If she works 5 hours, it's going to be 9 times 5 kilograms of dough. Now let's read the rest of the question. How many hours did she work? So H should stay as H because that's our question. We don't know how many hours. We cannot just plug in a number. If she prepared 18 kilograms of that dough. So the answer is going to be 18 this time. We are not plugging in 18 because 18 is not the number of hours. It is the mass of the dough. So that's what I need to figure out. I need to get the H by itself. H is multiplied by 9. So to get the H by itself, this is called reverse operation. When you want to cancel out something in front of a variable, you just do the opposite. Since H is multiplied, the inverse operation of multiplication is division. We divide each side by 9 to get the H by itself. And then the answer would be H equals 18 divided by 9 equals to 2. So if she works 2 hours, she'll end up with 18 kilograms of dough. But just to kind of make sure you know how reverse operations work, here's a list. Reverse operations. Addition and subtraction are reverse operations, and also multiplication and division. I don't have that much space, so I just shorten them. So this means, here's a quick example. Let's say you have 6 plus x equals 10. If you want to get the x by itself, that's my variable. If I want to get it by itself, if there's something else next to it, I need to get rid of it. So right next to it, I have 6 plus, right? That's added. So I need to subtract it. This is called reverse operation. The reverse operation of addition is subtraction. So since the 6 is added, I need to subtract that 6 from itself and also from the other side of the equation. Here is my equation. It's divided by that equal sign. On the left side, I am subtracting a 6, and then I can now bring this x down here and then bring down the equal and then do the math on the right side. 10 minus 6 equals to 4. So that would be my answer. When I have an addition, I need to do the reverse operation. For addition, the reverse operation is subtraction. So I'm subtracting that expression from both sides. Now let's have another example. Okay, here's another one. Jenny buys 2 souvenirs during each day of vacation. So for each day, we have 2 of these. So 2 per day, in short. How many days will Jenny have to spend on vacation before she will have bought a total of 4 souvenirs? So in total, she want to have 4 of these items, okay? We need to figure out how many days. That's my question. That's why I kept the D the same. I'm not plugging in anything for it, because if you read the question, it says how many days. So that means the days is the question. I cannot just plug in a number just because there's a 4 in here. because that would be ridiculous if they would give me the answer in the question. Why are they asking about it? So that's your cue, by the way. If it says how many days, you cannot just plug in the next number that you see for that D. That's what you need to get by itself. Get the D by itself in this equation. So it is already multiplied, right? So what was the reverse operation of multiplication? So addition and subtraction were reverse operations, and then multiplication and division are reverse. So if you want to get rid of 2 times, you need to divide each side by that number. So 2's will cancel each other out so that you can bring down this D, standing for the number of days, and then bring down the equal sign over here, and then bring down the result of 4 divided by 2, which is 2. So if she has 2 days of vacation, she's gonna have 4 of these items in the end. So the number of days would be 2. Again, just because of you see a number, you just don't plug it in wherever you see a variable. That's not how algebra works. I know that in the long run you're gonna feel like doing so, but make sure you know what the question is. At least that way you wouldn't plug in any number for that part of the question. Like the number of days is the question. I cannot plug in anything for that one. I need to get it by itself. Okay, let's have another example. Okay, here's the last question. It's a pretty good one. Let's check this out. A cab company charges $1 per cab ride. So for each ride, they charge $1, right? Let me just activate the pen. $1 per ride. Right now, I don't know how many rides we are talking about, so that's why I plugged in a variable for the number of rides because of this expression. $1 per cab ride. Plus, it says plus, let's just put that one in, plus an additional $3 per mile. $3 per mile, right? If a cab ride is 64 miles long, what am I gonna do with that 64 miles? So this is the number of miles. So all I have to do then is taking this number and then plugging it in here, because for every mile, that person is going to be charged $3. So I'll just bring down the right side again, plus 3 times. Now I know how many miles you're talking about. You're talking about 64 miles. This is all you have to do. Just read the question in parts and then extract the information that you can use, and then look for the variables in the equation that you can plug it in for. Now, how much will it cost? So 1 times R, what am I going to do with that R? So obviously you're talking about one set of rides in here, just one ride that's going to take 64 miles. So if it is just one ride, that's 1 times 1. So the number of rides is 1. So that's what I need. What's 1 times 1? It is just 1. Any number times 1 equals to itself. So what I have is 1 plus, what about 3 times 64? That would be 180, 192. So if it is 192, and if there's an additional $1 charge because of the ride, the total cost is going to be $193. So we are adding them all together. So that would be the total charge. Okay guys, thanks for watching, and I will see you in another video. And please let me know if there's any other questions. If you have any suggestions or feedback, just share them with me, and I'll try to accommodate your needs. Thanks again, and I will see you in another video.